Aussie. 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 Angry, Aussie. Aussie. Angry.
Okay, Thursday night. As I'm fond of saying, almost Friday, practically the weekend. Live stream. Not quite party night. We're going to have a drink. Oh, yeah, it was sad. But the other bit, it was so poetic. Seriously, the world, literally world famous gay penguins. When globally famous gay penguin Sphen died in Sydney, his partner began to sing. Zoo staff brought magic to Sphen's side to process the loss, and the penguin colony joined in his mournful call. I mean, oh my God. That's just the most poetic motherfucking thing I've heard in a long time. That is fucking incredible. Wow, the world is amazing. But anyway, our heart will go on. What's the big thing? Looking neat sounding headline on the Punch Drink website to distract from the sadness is Sphen. 10 recipes from the best new bartenders of 2024. Frozen Caribbean coffee. Well, that doesn't appeal to me. Tiny Sparrow Martini by Kitty Bernardo in New York. Huh. Okay, I need to see what the recipe for that is. Barca from the old quarter. Sticky rice and pandan are popular ingredients in Vietnamese street food. So, base is toasted rice infused rye, sweetened by simple pandan syrup, finished with bitters. Okay, I need to know. Okay, toasted rice infused whiskey. What the hell? Well, I just think that the next world famous gay penguin couples are around the corner. Hey, Justin, how you doing? Just thinking, I might. Okay, well, it looks like there's a few people coming in. I might just make one cocktail video as a settle down, and one in mind. And in fact, what's thank you, Foods, for dinging before I start making a video. Okay. I was on the Punch Drink website. Okay, so I wanted to see that. A bamboo spritz. Sherry vermouth. Yeah, okay, I know that. Last Caress. Sexy. Named after a Misfits song. Apple brandy, Averna, and Genepi. Few dashes of Peychaud's bitter. Well, you know what? That's one I'm going to want to look into. Nuyorican Sour by Antonio Jimenez in Philadelphia. New York Sour. Whiskey sour with a floated red wine. A Puerto Rican rum. An Amaro from Brooklyn. Interesting. Pam's Punch. Gin and cranberry. And Sunny D and ginger ale. And a little absinthe. Do pineapples dream of tiki drinks? Okay, these are a bunch of recipes I definitely need to look at. Sabacha Chuhai. You know, I don't want that. The dreamer. Raspberry aloe. Well, I don't have it. Okay. Now, I need to look up some detail on this drink I was going to make, which was a white mezcal Negroni. Okay. No, no one in particular. It's just on the Punch Drink website. Okay, that makes it easier for me. All right. That little bit of musing over. We get it together. Set up to make this. Okay, so I want my yellow chartreuse. Und possibly, where is it? There it is. Possibly this red aperitivo. That's in the background. Right. Wait, what's this? Sorry, just disappearing into the mysterious cupboard of mystery. Another time. Just going to experiment with something else, but I think I'm getting too complicated. All right. Mezcal. Where's my mezcal? That's not mezcal. This is mezcal. Worms and all. Okay. Now we set up the cameras. Oh, it's so professional. There's so much room in here. That's good. I'm crying my bed. Do. Right. Yes, I do need to torch that with fire. Put this here. Got to do the thing with the blowtorch now. Right. Let's get down to business. Defeat the Hun. Okie dokie doo. Got my stirrings. Where's my phone, which has the recipe on there? Hey, Strictly Sega, how's it going? And Celtic King. Oh, there you go, Celtic. You're getting an explanation there from Hannah. It's in all the newspapers in around the world, in fact. Yes, we do want this one. Okay. Let us get the mezcal. 1.5 ounces of mezcal. And 3/4 of an ounce of Rasa Vermouth. And this is going to be it. And that's it. Pretty simple drink. Okay. Like the easy drink. Okay. How's that to go on? That looks good. Maybe it needs to go there. Whatever. Okay. Yeah, let's just go with this. We go to mezcal. We go. That's the Vermouth. We go. Delar Chartreuse. And okay. I think that's more orange than pink. I was going to call this a pink mezcal Negroni. I'm going to finish. God, the ice is just frozen in a clump. It's useless. All right. Try not to cause a disaster. Got it. That's what I want. Oh, I get the smoke from the mezcal wafting up into my nose holes. I like it. Give it till it gets stirred. Like 25 seconds. Ooh, that's tasting interesting. What's that one? Fuck. A little bit of ice caught on there. Gonna make a noise later. Right. Okay, that's that. Right. I gotta consult my notes. Yes, the gay penguins raised multiple penguin babies. Wait, is that it? What they have for a garnish? Nothing. Okay. That's what I thought. Okay. Now the talkie talk. Okay, turn the audio recorder. Ah. Okay. That's good. Let's do that. That's car going past, just a good start. G'day, cocktail lovers. This is a cocktail inspired by a recipe I saw on the Punch Drink website. They had a white mezcal Negroni, and that appealed to me on a couple of levels. I thought, oh, mezcal is an interesting touch. Also, they weren't suggesting to use Campari. Obviously, if it's going to be white, you definitely couldn't use Campari. And anyone who knows me knows it's just too bitter for me. I know it's very popular. I know the Negroni is a very popular drink, but Campari, even in small doses, is simply too bitter for me. So I always look for substitutes. And this was suggesting using, for the bittering side, using something like Suze. I decided to go with yellow chartreuse. But the reason I've got a pink, well, actually, it kind of looks slightly orange or peach colored. But I think from a marketing point of view, pink mezcal Negroni is a better name for this. And the reason mine is pink is I use this Rosa vermouth from a local maker. Now, when we see Blanco vermouth in cocktails, it's not so much about the color, although Blanco translates as white, obviously. It's about sweetness. That's more important in the cocktail, unless the color is super important to you. But a Blanco is traditionally between a sweet and a dry vermouth, and this Rosa vermouth is, sweetness-wise, between a sweet and a dry vermouth. So it fits the bill, and so if I'm going to use that, it's going to go pink. So it's going to be a pink mezcal Negroni rather than a white mezcal Negroni. Mezcal, that sounds like that could be a cocktail drink. I feel like I need to work out what the ingredients for a mezcal would be. That's for another day. For now, I'm going to taste this one. Oh, I love the earthy character of mezcal and the smokiness that comes up. And there is that little bit of bitterness, which we attribute to a Negroni, but not as in your face as one made with Campari. This is a very pleasant drink. Nice, simple, clean, elegant drink. And I'll show you the other ingredients. What it is? Mezcal is, of course, the backbone of this, and I use this one, Peloton de la Muerte. It doesn't stand for what it translates as. Mezcal is, of course, the backbone of this cocktail. I use this one, Peloton de la Muerte, translates as Death Squad. And I don't know if you can see, there are worms in the bottom. There is regularly argument about what does it mean if there are worms in a mezcal. Is that good or bad? The thing is, it's definitely not traditional. It's something that was done for tourists. It was regarded as a signifier these days that it's a less good thing designed to hook tourists in. I actually got these worms in a mezcal first 10 years ago, and it was actually pretty good. But I kept the worms. I keep kind of threatening to make one of my friends eat them. And I just transfer the worms from mezcal to mezcal. But yeah, generally speaking, it's considered if you see mezcal worms in a mezcal, that's probably a bad sign, although that's not universally true. So who even knows? As I said, my vermouth choice is this Rosa from Unica Zello in South Australia. It's simply a medium sweet vermouth, and the base is red wine grapes. I don't have any real gentian liqueurs, but I do have yellow chartreuse, which is not the same, but is providing some similar characteristics. And I actually added a little bit to the bitter side with this Australian bitter red aperitivo. This is about the equivalent of, say, Aperol. It's definitely not as bitter as Campari. If it was, I wouldn't have it. And it also upped the pinkness in the drink. So those are the ingredients, and I'll show you now how to make it. In a mixing glass, put 1.5 ounces or 45 mils of mezcal, then 3/4 of an ounce or around 22.5 mils of your vermouth, then 1/2 ounce or 15 mils of yellow chartreuse, and finally 1/4 of an ounce or around 7.5 mils of the bitter red aperitivo. Add ice to the glass, stir that for 20 to 25 seconds to chill and dilute the drink, and I'm straining that into a rocks glass over a big chunk of sexy clear ice. I do like to talk up the sexy clear ice because with a stirred drink, it just looks fantastic. There's not much point if it's a shaken drink because that's going to be cloudy, or if you've got anything like dark liqueurs in here, or even Amaro. It varies from drink to drink. This one, I think it works just about perfectly. And I always throw it in at the end of the videos about how good sexy clear ice is, because you should be seeing a link to my video showing you just the easiest way to make it. It's the way I make it. Just need an insulated coffee cup, basically, and Bob's your auntie's live-in lover. And I'm going to sit down with this now and enjoy it. I hope you're enjoying yourself wherever you are. I hope to see you again sometime soon. Until I do, I will say cheers. Okay, let's switch some stuff on. Not really planning to make another cocktail video tonight. But, you know, never say never. I'm just so far ahead. I've got uploads every second day into December now. Okay. Do 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 do. Okay, let's see what you fine folk have been up to while I've been doing that. Raise, hello. Oh gosh, is this age catching up here? You coughed and threw your back out. I know that feeling. Oh, Ray's just getting on in life. What? No, Tom Kitten loves it. Tom Kitten's been neglected for years. Now Tom Kitten's part of the action. Oh, vid idea. Okay. I kind of have to, and I kind of have done this. In retrospect, I think my advice was kind of wrong. I mean, everyone does that. And basic cocktails to start with. It's because it's a really good idea for a video. And it's kind of like the short answer for what are the first things you should get is going, well, that's going to come down to what drinks you like. Okay. Okay. This peeler's gone to fuck. What's that about? I just don't know what's going on here. Or is it just this particular orange it's having a disagreement with? It's weird that different oranges behave differently, quite honestly. All right, I'm going to put that bit of orange peel in. But I'm going to try and work out what the fuck is going on here. Okay, I think it's just... Okay, that peeler doesn't like this orange. I've had that before, that Different oranges are compatible with different peelers. Jesus, I'm bollocking it. Oh well, I got a few weird shaped bits of orange peel. Mrs. Angry can put in her hot chocolate in the morning. Yeah, some oranges fight back, like this one. Oh, Jesus Christ. There are some wrong videos on the internet, I'll tell you that much. Justin, did I see someone opened an emergency? Yes, I did. I believe someone who would do that has some mental health challenges. So if you missed it, it was on a Jetstar flight that had landed, and this guy jumped out of his seat while the plane was still taxiing, and the flight crew said, "No, you got to sit down until we tell you to get up." And he did sit down. But then when the plane stopped, but it wasn't ready for people to deboard, he just stood up, went over to the emergency exit door, reefed it open, which made the emergency slide sort of shoot out. And he just walked out onto the wing of the plane and slid down the slide and got arrested straight away. At least he was nice enough to wait for it to land. There was an incident not that long ago with someone during a flight saying they wanted to open the emergency door. But yeah, to do that, you have to know you're going to be arrested. And so I feel like some mental health issues there. Your picks would be whiskey, triple sec, brandy, vodka, blue curacao, gin, white rum, vermouth. Okay. Here's the thing. Like, I think there's no universal truth to this. It comes down to the drink you like. So when you straight 10 is pretty broad, so you can get a lot in there. So but like, if you don't like whiskey drinks, you're not going to make whiskey. If you don't like rum drinks, you're not going to make rum. But in the broadest possible brushstrokes, I would say split that between spirits and modifiers. And again, adjusting based on what you like. So you want to go whiskey, rum, gin, vodka, tequila, and maybe brandy. And then modifiers, vermouth and a couple of liqueurs. Definitely like an orange liqueur. As you say, blue curacao, because you can make fun drinks with. That's theoretically an orange flavored liqueur, but I think it's usually just a sugar flavored liqueur. Yeah, so you work out what drinks do you like and get the stuff to make that. Yeah, that's why the person in the inboard flight couldn't open the door, but they were screaming and ripping at the emergency release on the door, and they got tackled. And in situations like can be mental health, or he knows he's going to be arrested and deported anyway. Oh God, I remember seeing a thing of an Irish comedian, and he's talking about it's like the Irish police, the Gardaí, they're just different, and Irish people are very different to say Americans. There's a flight where a guy, I think he was from the Middle East, maybe from the subcontinent. He was being deported, and he had an escort. Like I forget where he's being taken to, but he'd been taken on a flight, and with Irish police as his guards, essentially on this flight, and he didn't want to be deported, and he's panicking. So just as the flight's about to take off, he starts saying he's got a bomb. I've got a bomb. I've got a bomb. And the Irish police say, "No, you don't. Just sit. Just sit. You don't have a bomb. Everyone knows you don't have a bomb." and and it's like this guy's screaming he's got a bomb, and the Irish cops are just going, "You don't. So you don't. We know you don't. So just be quiet." He's just saying it would have worked differently on an American flight as far as he was concerned. Yeah, look, to me, the big ones you want to be okay. So the big types of drinks are the spirit and vermouth ones, martini and Manhattan. Uh, the sours, so you just want lemon or lime juice for those, and the daisies, and that's things like a margarita or a Cosmo one. So that's spirit, sugar, citrus, and a liqueur, and your old-fashioned type ones. So you get your mix of spirits and your mix of modifiers. Um, and it's absolutely going to depend what sort of drinks you like. But I definitely think an orange liqueur, like curacao, even blue curacao, uh, at least one vermouth. And this is going to be down to do you want to make martinis or do you want to make Manhattans? I think sweet vermouth is probably more versatile than dry vermouth if you're only getting one vermouth. And probably an Amaro, but an easy one, not a really challenging one. Like Amaro Montenegro is sweet. So, okay, if we're saying 10, I'd literally be going, and it's just for cocktails, unless you hate one of these, get whiskey, gin, rum, brandy, tequila, vodka. So you got 4 modifiers then. So sweet vermouth, orange curacao. I'd probably go for a chocolate liqueur, either white or brown, creme de cacao, and an Amaro Montenegro. So that's my 10. Yeah, that was basically their thing. Other people freak out. Like, we've done it with the IRA, stop being a knob and shut. And also because obviously they'd taken this guy from custody. They had him in custody and walked him onto the plane. And that's what just going, you don't have a bomb. Just be quiet. And but like refusing to rise to the bait and saying, "Oh, we have to stop the flight because he said he's got a bomb." You don't have a bomb. Just be quiet. Uh, that's not bad. I mean, it's probably only a 7 out of 10. There's nothing wrong with it, but I have no real impulse to make that drink again. But it's nice for a change. 7 out of 10. Every other country, we know you don't, but we have to take you seriously. It's only, shush, they're giving me a drink on the flight. Uh, oh, actually, that one's even nicer as it dilutes a little bit as the ice melts a bit. I still call it at this point. I'm still considering. Anyway, okay. So I found all these cocktail recipes by new up and coming. Got a tiny sparrow martini. What's in that? Gin, sherry. What the fuck is calamansi liqueur? Jesus, that's a fuckload of sherry as well. Okay, now I need to look up what there's a new one on me. Calamansi liqueur. What is calamansi liqueur? Is Pavana calamansi? I've seen that at Dan Murphy's. Here we go. Menil liqueur de calamansi. That's a Philippines liqueur. Okay. Captures the essence of calamansi. It's a citrus liqueur. Okay. So they're just being super, super fussy and saying, use this Philippines liqueur that you've never heard of. And good on them. Highlighting their heritage. I'm 1,000% so I could make this. I've got a bunch of fruit liqueurs in there. So your dad worked on cruise ships. They had a fired employee who was locked in his room until next port. He claimed to have an explosive, so your dad got to talk to him. Opened his door, told him to stop fucking about, otherwise they'd have to leave the door open and watch him, and no one wanted to see him shit. No nonsense. I like that. Approach ridiculous bullshit in a no-nonsense manner. I was also thinking, which citrus liqueur would I use? Because I've got a few interesting ones. I've got a limoncello. I've got a kumquatcello. I think I'd have to do because that's weird. So yeah, and also your base things you need, utensils. You don't even need a proper cocktail shaker. You just need something that you can shake things in. You need something that measures accurately, and a spoon, and appropriate glassware is nice but not necessary. But glassware is nice. So he begged this guy on the boat. Didn't want to be off-boarded at the next port because he was responsible to get him home wherever he lived. He figured if he got arrested, they'd deport him home. Aha. So that's why he was trying to say something that would get him arrested. Yeah. Yeah. And again, yes, the same as the guy in this story didn't want to be deported, so he's trying to get the flight to not take off. And the Irish police said, just be quiet. You don't have a bomb. Captain Hoodway is trying to get arrested. Fuck him. No one report. Yeah, no one report him because we are just going to dump him at the next port, and then it's his responsibility to get himself home. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, you'd be doubly annoyed at them at that point. Whatever they've done to get themselves fired, and then they're being an asshole, and you're just like, all right, fuck you, dude. I think, okay, this stupid amount of stuff. I've got to stop buying things. I was bad this week. Starwood had a limited release that you had to enter a ballot just for a chance to be able to try it. My most recent ballot ones are the one in the green box, the Lagavulin barrel one, and one over here, which is bourbon barrel. And this one's apparently been aged or finished in a somewhat rare sort of dessert wine barrel. It's probably going to have a really pronounced influence on the flavor. And so I did for $300. Like I said, I bought those bottles the other week just because they're on special. It was about $200 for 3 bottles, but they normally would have been $300. So, save money. So this bloke on the boat dumped him in Barbados, and he was from Central Europe. Oh, taking days and thousands of dollars to get away. Well, it's just like that's when you know you've pissed people off, when they'll do that to you. Oh, I know. Oh, Jesus. I've been trying so hard. I'd like to stop. And I'll have these little periods where I'm good and don't buy anything. Then I'll go feral. Raise, never mind the bollocks is a good album. It's a good album. I like, and I mean the singles are such good singles. God Save the Queen, Pretty Vacant, Anarchy in the UK. Those are great fucking singles. Yeah. Oh my God. I go feral sometimes. Yeah. So this one bottle's $160, which is nowhere near my most expensive whiskey, like not even close. My most expensive is probably in the region of twice as expensive as that, which just goes to show how fucking stupid I am. But even in whiskey terms, that's not a lot. Like you just go out. Dan Murphy's sells ones for $500, $600, $800, $1,000, and that's just at Dan Murphy's, let alone a specialist place. So the Duke got fired for not turning up on a cruise ship where he lived, and his response was there was traffic. God damn. All right, now we're all in a Sex Pistols mood. EMI. Yeah, no, I agree. I haven't listened to it for a while. I've got it on vinyl, but I agree with you, Raze. It's a good album. I've even got this weird album. It was definitely a cash in. It's just all these weird offcuts. It's like promo stuff and interviews. It's called Some Product. Don't even know if there are any songs on it. Just all these weird interviews and promotional things. Oh yeah, Problems is a good one too. It's just a good album. No, it's not the Rock and Roll Swindle. The Rock and Roll Swindle is a proper album compared to Some Product. But I think Some Product is relatively rare and has all this weird promo stuff and interviews on it. So it's a whole thing. Anyway, I'm gonna look. What's the weirdest liqueur I've got in here? Actually, that's something I feel like I haven't bought for a while, a liqueur. Although I did get one in my most recent mystery bottle. Doesn't really count. The wine liqueur. So we've got Amari, macadamia, chartreuses, honey, lemon, and ginger from Tiny Bit. That's fucking nice. Cherry brandy, sour apple liqueur, passion fruit liqueur, apple liqueur, pineapple amaro, more fruit liqueurs, limoncello, tangelo cello, kumquat cello, Midori, brandy liqueur. Ooh! Oh, no, yuzu. I should use yuzu. I have yuzu liqueur in here. Cinnamon liqueur, strawberry, elderflower, Italicus, blue curacao, chocolate liqueur, Galliano, choc orange liqueur. What's this one? Christ, does anyone need some blue curacao? I mistakenly bought too much blue curacao. It's very weird. Pimento dram, pineapple liqueur. Jesus Christ. I'm glad too much stuff. Now I've got my own house blends barrel aging, the one that's built around the rye you make spirit, but also now I put the cheap whiskey in one of the barrels and mixed it with some other whiskeys to see if it tastes better after a couple of months. Oh no. The Great Rock and Roll Swindle was a cash in, basically. I don't think it even counts as a mockumentary, let alone a documentary. Oh yeah, I kind of love the actual musicians who weren't as flamboyant, calling themselves the professionals. I think you can get The Filth and the Fury on streaming in Australia. I'm not sure. You're coming up with a different spelling of curacao each time. Which is a type of orange, as I understand it. Curacao. Friggin' in the Riggin is funny, yes. What did I have for dinner? I had some yum cha for dinner, actually. which was okay. But you got the orange liqueur family. You got the curacao, the triple sec. Even Grand Marnier is kind of different because it's cognac based. No, it was actually it was frozen yum cha from the supermarket. Yeah, it is pronounced extremely similarly to the Japanese film director Kurosawa. It's extremely similar. Kurosawa. Yeah, that's the Japanese version, Strictly Sega, Blue Kurosawa. It was half price. You know me, Safa. I got it because it was half price at the supermarket. Just some frozen yum cha treats. It was okay. It was actually bland, if anything. So I won't get it again, even if it's on special. Yeah, had a bit of rain in the last couple of days. Not a huge amount, but occasional downpour. Apparently, some of the suburbs got full on storms. Oh yeah, God, he's a fucking scumbag. Robert Kennedy Jr. was definitely just trying to fuck up Democrat votes, and then it became clear that even disenchanted Democrat votes thought he was a complete fuckwit, and he was actually taking votes away from Trump. And Trump has said like he'd give him the health portfolio in his government, which would be an unmitigated disaster. But yeah, it just shows he's got no fucking backbone whatsoever. And he's just an absolute piece of shit. No thunderstorms at my place, Safa, but one of my co-workers who lives out in a fringe suburb, he reckoned they had thunderstorms out there. You're still hoping to lose the bet, Strictly Sega. Yeah, look, it's up in the air. Anything could happen, basically. Anyone who thinks anyone who thinks they can predict it is kind of full of themselves. It's very close, but the thing, anything could happen. Oh God, and how much of a spineless fuck is Joe Rogan? Like, I think he was like endorsing RFK, and just because an overwhelming majority of his audience are Trump fuckos, and he got this backlash. And he said, "No, I didn't really endorse RFK." No, Safa. The cabinet positions in US governments are appointed, they're not elected. In Australian government, the cabinet ministers are all part of the parliamentary party, but in the US system, the cabinet positions are appointed after the administration goes in, which is a bit weird. Yeah, have a beer. That's actually my clarified cocktail rather than whiskey, but I'm here to encourage you to have a little hit of whiskey, definitely. And yes, Safa, it's a 100 Powerball, so doubtless I'm going to get a call during the stream saying I won, or a call from my offspring about plans we're making for Father's Day, but if I disappear and you never hear from me again, it's because I won $100 million lotto. Yes, I couldn't resist. When it's $100 million, it's like, you know what? I will get a ticket. I'm not one of those people who goes, oh, it's big, so I'm going to spend 100. No. Just get a sort of basic amount. And mind you, I also have deals with a couple of friends. If they win lotto, they'll finance me starting up a distillery. Yes, I'm with you. Share with nobody. Lotto Champ does what the fuck he wants. Oh, yeah. Um, like I said, my usual way of drinking whiskey straight is just to compare tastes. But it's a thing again. Real hardcore whiskey people uh, will say, "Oh no, don't drink it on ice," but you drink it the way you like it. And what I like about drinking it on ice, having it on ice, having it cold does subdue some of the flavors. That's not always a bad thing, but also it's going to dilute a little as you drink it on ice. And I actually like that. I like that the taste changes. So a good quality whiskey is not going to be fucked up by ice, but the taste is going to change. Yeah, and I always like cold drinks too. Yeah. I'm just talking about hardcore whiskey wankers will go, "Oh, no, no," where it's like, no, no, you drink it the way you like it. And I do like the way the taste experience actually changes over the life of it if it's on ice. So I don't know when I'm going to get the expensive whiskey I bought because I bought it online and they said, "Oh, we've got a new order." So I mean, it could arrive tomorrow. It might not arrive till next week sometime. Uh, I don't know that they were promising. Actually, I could. Okay. Um, yeah, there is two things about putting it on ice. Cold will subdue the flavors a bit, uh, but as it dilutes, that's actually going to change how it tastes. Yeah, they probably would have a bit of a at you if you're at a fancy whiskey bar and you got it with ice. Um, yeah, I just taste whiskey straight to decide if I'm going to like it in an old fashioned. That's me, basically. Are we still on the Malcolm McLaren thing with Buffalo Girl going around the outside? Um, oh god, I downloaded this track once from the internet and then forgot about it. And it was, just on uh, I had all the music on my hard drive, hundreds, if not thousands of tracks, and I had it on shuffle. And um, I'd forgotten about this track, and then this really weird thing, and it was like an old sort of down home redneck square dance tune, just a dun 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 dun. And I was thinking, what the fuck is this? I don't remember this. And it was a mashup because Buffalo Girls is a really old song, as an old sort of Appalachian song. And it was like these guys singing like and I'll hold down two Buffalo girls go round the outside, round the outside. And then they mashed it up with the Malcolm McLaren one, and it worked really well. But yeah, like I said, I'd forgotten I'd downloaded it, and it showed because there were thousands of tracks on this list, and I was on shuffle, and then it played, and I had no idea what it was. Ooh, New York Dolls. Now we're getting into some of the slightly more obscure punk, post-punk stuff. Yes. Uh, all right. Man, freaking love these. Did the DNC have a lot of hip hop in the conference? I have not been paying attention. I know they had Stevie Wonder on. I don't know what he played, but he's not hip hop. I was looking at these cocktails. Okay. Vodka. Okay, so how we do toasted rice infused rye. We have uncooked sticky rice that we toast until golden brown. Then you grind that into a powder. Add the toasted rice and the rye whiskey in a container. Let infuse for 2 hours, then double strain back into the bottle. Man, toasted rice infused whiskey. I kind of feel like I'm going to have to try that. Good. They do it with a whole bottle. Not sure I want to do it with a whole bottle of rye. Ah, they had Little John at the Turned Down for What? I do remember the weird music video with the giant boobs. That was an extremely weird music video. Like and I mean weird in the good way, not weird in the Republicans a weird way. Um, very colorful effects. Okay, what's this one? The Last Caress. Apple brandy, Amaro Averna, Genepi, or yellow chartreuse. Man. So that's oh yeah, that's like a cousin to a fucking Negroni as well. Honestly, I'm definitely gonna make that one. Do pineapples dream of tiki drinks? Pineapple bark infused rum. Honestly, I'll probably just use the pineapple rum I've got. Coca Americano, white port, allspice dram. I don't have white port. Shall we do pineapple bark infused rum? So wash the pineapple, slice the top and bottom off, slice the bark, aka the rind, quarter and core the pineapple, infuse the rum with the core and the bark. Refrigerating for a week. Man. Well, I've got a pineapple rum, so I don't need to do that. Really revisiting the older music, 70s and 80s and 90s music. Yeah, I watched this series on Netflix called The Decameron. It's essentially a farce, a comedy, but like a farce type comedy set in the Black Plague in Italy. And it was fun. It was definitely fun. But what's the thing is like 8 episodes. And literally after 3 episodes, we were going, how the fuck does this keep going for 8 episodes? Because it was really shaping up like it was going to finish. And we were only 3 episodes in to an 8 episode run. We were really, and they did it. And I think they did it quite well. So yeah, I guess it gets a recommend, but the soundtrack was fucking banging, and the soundtrack was definitely put together by someone in Mrs. Angry and my age bracket because it was all 70 like it was post punk, like late 70s and 80s stuff. And I mean, there was some Nine Inch Nails, so that was 90s. But it was definitely like Gen X soundtrack to this thing, which is interesting because pretty much all the main actors were younger, like millennial. Raise, has anyone seen X nausea scene from Decline of Western Civilization documentary park scene? Oh, no. Sounds good though. Even Pat Smear from Foo Fighters when he played in the Germs. Oh, damn. Oh, of course. You've got the doco Strictly Say parts 1, 2, and 3. There you go. Penelope Spheris directed it. There you go. Man, we are just getting into the punk and post-punk arcana tonight. What are we up to? 9 o'clock. Oh, okay. Penelope Spheris made Wayne's World. That's wild to go from a punk documentary to Wayne's World. Bit of fun. My old school starter bottle with the stars painted on it. When I get my new limited Starwood, I think I'll do a blind tasting of a few of my limited edition Starwoods and seeing which one I like best in a blind tasting. Germs are the only bands to be cut from Cheech and Chong's movie Battle of the Bands because they're too fucked in the head on stage. Okay. Now, you know what you're making me think of being fucked on stage? I'll look it up to get right. Director of The Decline of Western Civilization went to make Little Rascals and the Beverly Hillbillies. Yeah. Okay. So, band to become. I'm thinking of the Justified Ancients of Moo. Those wacky guys who are Discordians. God, I'm forgetting the actual name they released under. Ugh. Muddled my brain. Okay. Stabber. Ooh, got one first time. That's always a good omen. Getting a cherry first time. The KLF, that's who I was trying to fucking remember. Called themselves various names, but they released stuff under the name KLF. And they were on the major British music award, the Brits. And they said, oh, yeah, we're going to perform our most recent single, What Time Is Love, which is actually really fucking good. But I'm going to try and look up, see if I can find out the name of they actually sent this really trashy heavy metal band. And I say that with love, trashy heavy metal. KLF, Brits. What time is love? Oh, that's it. The band was called Extreme Noise Terror. And they were like rough as fuck. And they apparently managed to upset everyone at the Brits. Which is, again, the KLF were pranksters. They were Discordians. They set fire to £1 million. Oh, Streaky Sega, did you look it up? Yeah. It's so funny that they just fucking pissed people off. Old Bands Talk doing a one-off reunion show. Oh, wow. Oh, hell yeah. Oh, yes, no, you knew it. Yeah. There you go. You committed it to memory. I fucking love the KLF, honestly. And I love that a couple of years ago, they uploaded HD versions of all their 90s videos to YouTube, which is just fucking killer. Yeah, how to make a number one hit single. Jesus, they were mad bastards. Like, there was a period, God, it went on for a long time, that everything they did, like whether they were producing for someone else or what name they were releasing stuff under, it just went massive to the charts, and they were making more money than they were comfortable with. And they'd do this really outlandish shit for the music videos. So the music videos cost £1 million to make. And they thought, yeah, okay, surely we won't make money out of this because we blew too much money on the video. And they'd go straight to the top of the fucking charts and make money. So, okay, the book is actually good advice. There you go. How to make a number one hit single. If you want a bit of fun, though, read up on Discordians. So the advice is listen to what's popular, listen to the top 40 every week. Even the bands who might do different albums, singles all quite sound the same. Oh, I also am absolutely devoid of musical talent. Mm. Oof. Oh man, that tastes okay. This is a I improvised the this is a clarified cocktail, and I improvised it. Um, I made it more complicated. A lion's tail, equal parts uh, whiskey, sweet vermouth, uh, orange juice. What's the other fucking component? Um, damn it. Blood and sand. Blood and sand cocktail. Okay. Equal parts whiskey, usually scotch, sweet cherry liqueur. I was forgetting cherry liqueur. So equal parts whiskey, sweet vermouth, cherry liqueur, and orange juice. And I got creative with this one. I don't regret it, but the straight ahead one, because I made a clarified one with whiskey, sweet vermouth, cherry liqueur, blood orange juice, and then clarified it, and it was super fucking yum. And then I made another one and I improvised. I split the vermouth into half sweet vermouth, half sherry, and I split the cherry liqueur into half cherry and half elderflower liqueur. And the sherries had a really interesting and somewhat dominating effect on it. So there's a little taste of like sultanas or raisins in this, which is actually quite nice. Um, interesting take. What's the other thing about bass? It's dead easy. There's only 4 strings and they're great big ones. Oh yeah, you could absolutely make a cocktail with golden passion. Just find a recipe that calls for pineapple juice and just replace the pineapple juice with golden pash, and it would make a different but good cocktail. I the golden circle golden pash was on special, like for really cheap, a while back at the supermarket, and I got it. I haven't used it. I'm going to turn it into a syrup because I did this with the uh pineapple mango one. Reduce it on a stove, boil away most of the water so it goes really syrupy, and then add even more sugar to it. And then you've got a cocktail syrup that kicks ass. I'm going to do that with the golden pash at some point. I have a lot of syrups at the moment. I have to use them up, but I'm going to boil down the golden pash to make it really syrupy, then give it a taste. And if I think it needs it, add some sugar to it. It'd be a very good tropical syrup then for like rum drinks. Thinking golden pash cranberry rum combo, I mean, that'd work. But for reals, literally any find a recipe that calls for pineapple juice and just swap out the pineapple juice for golden pash, and I reckon you'd be good. Raise, you love playing bass. Be as loaded as you want, not fuck it at all. Tricky Taker was the oh wow at me making the syrup because it works. And I mean, you leave it on for quite a while on low heat and you reduce it by like 75%. Like you boil off 75% of it. Yes. Make a pina colada with golden pash. Yes. Abso-fucking-lutely. That would work. Like, okay, let's go for the Dipper's Guide website and say what are the good cocktails that have pineapple juice in them. Da-na-na-na, just gonna do a search. Pineapple. Fresh. Search. Okay, 14 cocktails. Pineapple caipirinha. Voodoo I do. Pineapple lassi. Yeah, pina colada is probably the big one. Yeah, I'd say make a pina colada, but with golden pash instead of pineapple juice. I don't think we've been particularly controversial tonight, Dr. Abigail. Having fun though. Yeah, I thought that's what you meant. But yeah, I think it would make a really good syrup. Like you want it on a low heat. You don't want it to burn. You want it to simmer and leave it for a while till it's reduced by like at least 75% and then taste it. And if you like it, um, keep it, but don't be shy about adding sugar to it as well, because that's what I did with the pineapple coconut golden circle fruit drink. And it was fucking yummy. It's really good. Uh, Dr. Abigail is, if not outright scared, at least unsettled by Tom Kitten. So I don't think she cares if I violate Tom Kitten. Are we channeling Prince now? Yes, that is Prince. I was trying to. I don't know the lyrics of it that well, but then I realized yes, it's definitely Prince. So we've gone from punk and post punk to 90s. Okay, SPF 50. Mrs. Angry did this, okay, and I'm not exactly sure why, but when I leave the room, Tom Kitten's in charge. Mrs. Angry's mum hand sewed, crocheted this, and it's from some children's book or other. But that's Tom Kitten. Tom Kitten's in charge these days when I leave the room. Yeah, Tom Kitten shot the chickens. The chickens aren't in charge anymore. Oh, Ray. Oh, God, you missed when I had Dr. Abigail on to just go into detail about what pissed her off about the acolyte. Yes, was a thing. They're not doing a season 2. Actually, yeah, maybe I should. I still have the chickens. You know, they're just over here. Maybe I need to change the thing to something about Tom Kitten. Yeah, I think Tom Kitten and Pat would do some evil together, quite honestly. Uh, but you know, there's great evil in the world. Oh, Dr. Abigail, I genuinely wanted to understand why it wound you up so much. And it made perfect sense. Everything you said made perfect sense because you knew the deep lore. I don't. Unburdened by the deep lore, it was much easier to enjoy The Acolyte. But you laid out an absolutely compelling case of why it frustrated you. Yeah, apparently it was extremely expensive to make The Acolyte. Um, But yeah, the current model, because Netflix was successful, all these media companies tried to jump on the streaming bandwagon, and they're now doing stuff that's economically unviable and really frustrating for audiences. Basically, at least 75% of the streaming services have to die and fuck off. Um, And the people at Disney do seem to make real bad choices, quite honestly. But you got the stage where Apple Plus, Prime, and Disney Disney slightly less so, but kind of they're like billionaires' follies at the moment. But who knows? SPF reminds you of some people enjoying Halo. Yeah, if you have nothing to do with the lore, Halo was quite enjoyable. Which meme? I did see. I remember you had a meme. Well, it's just you know, I feel like Prime and Apple Plus aren't going away because they're billionaires' follies, and Netflix has recognition and market share. I mean, and I kind of feel like Disney Plus isn't going to go away, although maybe Disney will just do a partnership with another streaming service, which would make more sense. So I kind of think there shouldn't be more than Netflix, Apple Plus, and Prime. And Disney and the major movie houses should just fucking do deals with the streaming platforms. I think that's the absolute most that should exist. Prime, Netflix, Apple, and Disney. Oh yeah, Binge is just Foxtel. Yeah. I believe Stan has some good shows, but it's just an Australian distributor for other ones. So I don't know. Who fucking knows? Yeah, that story was doing the rounds. A woman died at Disney. Well, Disney have withdrawn that very bad legal argument that because the husband accepted the Disney Plus terms and conditions, he couldn't sue them for negligence for his wife's death. I believe Disney have dropped that very bad line of legal reasoning. So we'll see what happens. And yeah, also it actually happened. The Disney lawyers did actually put forward the argument because the husband agreed to the Disney Plus terms of service. He waived his right to sue the Disney Corporation for negligence for the death of his wife. But unsurprisingly, they got a backlash on that, and they may have also got legal advice like, motherfucker, that's not holding up. So they've dropped that a particular thing. Right, Ray's on that morbid note, going to fuck off and get ready for work. I'm probably doing Saturday. So we'll see what happens on Saturday. But take care at work. Oh, yeah, trivia Saturday. Fuck yeah. Maybe we could even do a punk and find a website that has punk and post-punk trivia questions and see how we go. Oh, fuck yeah, breaking out the trivia. Abso-fucking-lutely. Oh, you know what? I'm thinking this one has such a strong flavor in it, this clarified cocktail. It would make a really good highball. Add soda, and I think the flavor would come through. I'm not going to drink any more alcohol tonight. Might do it tomorrow. Actually, I just said I'm not going to drink any more alcohol tonight, but I might, but not a lot. Oh, yeah, your band. Nice. Having successful band rehearsals. Oh, SBF, you're recognizing the Starwood bottle. Yeah, I keep the Starwood bottles because they're so cool. And they've stopped using these bottles as well. They've redesigned the bottles. But just because of the neat stars painted on the bottles, I've kept these ones. I'll keep them, I guess, I don't know, because I do like put these in the dishwasher, and maybe the paint design will wear off at some point. I don't know. But I have quite a few of these bottles. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I had this discussion once. Strictly Sega definitely doesn't like the new bottles. I have a soft spot for the old ones with the paint, but I also kind of think for Starwood are pitching themselves to a young, funky crowd. You see, all their advertising for the last year or so is pitching to a young, funky crowd, and I think the design from that perspective is a good idea. Oh, I will always recommend Starwood. Yeah. Nova is my go-to. It's kind of funny. You get people, in the cocktail world or the whiskey world, they challenge themselves like, oh, if you could only have one whiskey and it has to be a readily accessible one, and that was the only one you could have for the rest of your life, what would it be? And they all agonize over it. Oh, would it be this? I don't even blink. I'm just like, Nova. Starwood. If I could only have one whiskey for the rest of my life, it would be Starwood Nova. What don't you like, Strictly Sega? The new Starwood bottles. That's what Nova looks like now. And it used to come in this bottle. But there's a couple of I think going after the young funky market, that's actually a bit of clever design. Apparently, this bottle uses about 40% less glass than this bottle, which is both greener, as in ecologically sustainable, but also saves them a fucking fortune with shipping and transport. Okay, you know what I don't like about these bottles? It's got a much wider neck, so when you open the bottle and pour, you don't get a glug 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 because the neck is much wider. Oh man, that was my disappointment. First time I poured from one of those new bottles. God damn. And then I do love the paint on the old bottles, but Fletcher, down to you. You're the only one watching on Facebook. Everyone else is watching on YouTube tonight. The new bottle design saves them a fortune, which is good from a business. I know, Safa. Bottle design, I'm fine with. The loss of the glug glug glug, I am fucking heartbroken. Is Facebook evil? Facebook is fucked. Mark Zuckerberg and the Meta Corporation are fucking evil. I don't think that's even a controversial statement. They're fucked. Yeah, that would definitely make a highball. And also, I did see SPF, both Nova and Twofold, which is much cheaper than Nova, make really good highballs. Yeah, Meta is technically more than Facebook, but fuck them for being wankers and saying the company's called. It's Facebook, and they're fucking evil. They're basically the same price. There wasn't really a price change because of the bottle, but it's good for the company. It costs them way less to ship because the fucking bottles are 40% lighter. And also, just as I said, from a green, ecologically sustainable point of view, it's a good thing that the bottles are that much lighter. Use so much less fuel to transport the booze. Water, non-alcohol. Well, the new bottles are thinner. The glass is much thinner. They still seem pretty sturdy. Like me and my very non-expert ways, when I look at the new bottle, it doesn't. Okay, this is heavier. Like I can even tell it's heavier. It doesn't seem like a frail bottle at all. But it is like apparently 40% less glass. So pretty fucking clever move. As you say, if it doesn't affect the structural integrity, if we don't get stories of lots of bottles breaking. Oh, Fletcher, just stay on Facebook then. This is just on the Angry Aussie channel on YouTube, but Stay on Facebook by all means. Do what works for you, dude. I am, when I mentioned about having some more alcohol, I'm going to try this because I made it the other night and it's had a couple of days to infuse a liqueur. It's weird. I used the alien head bottle and it's lost all its subtleties, like a black eyes and green. Now it's just black and threatening. So this is a whiskey liqueur. It's actually got a little bit of brandy in it. And I've made that a few times and it's always been very yummy. Yeah, it's an amazing amount of less glass. Like I was really astounded when I saw that statistic. Oh, there you go. You found me, Fletcher. And Greg, hello. How are you doing? Ah, all right. So I'm just thinking if I'm not using, well, maybe I don't even need a subheading under my name there, Angry Chicken Man, because I have not been using the chickens very often lately. Although Chog's wife would kind of be disappointed if she tuned in at any point and I wasn't calling myself Angry Chicken Man because that was her line. Saying W, you watching the Angry Chicken Man again? Mm. Oh, okay. It's really interesting how good just that mineral water tastes after drinking some booze for a while. I was thinking, no, we still don't have the purple glass bins. And also, because the thing I was doing in the stream on, I don't remember if I did it on, it's probably, I guess it was on Tuesday? Or was it last Friday? I don't even fucking remember. But when I was putting stuff in the barrels and making that liqueur, I emptied several bottles, like 3 bottles, in fact. So they're on recycling. So this is when I get vaguely self-conscious when I put out the recycling next time. There's at least 3 spirit bottles in it, like 3 750 ml spirit bottles. And not that anyone sees what's in my recycling, but I have this vaguely self-conscious thing that someone's going, oh my God, 3 bottles of whiskey in 2 weeks. This guy's an alcoholic. It's like, no, like first, I had those bottles for ages. Second, I didn't actually finish them. They're in barrels and in another bottle. But it shouldn't be that thing. Fletch, do you know have the highest we do not have the highest. I think we're in the top 3. And it keeps going up, the alcohol super tax. And the alcohol industry is lobbying the government hard to say, hey, this could be a really good export industry if you stop strangling it. And I kind of think maybe the alcohol super tax has gone far enough. Yeah, I'd be way more into taxing the mining companies, quite honestly. So, Sophie, your mum's town's investigating the purple glass bins. Maybe a collection center because the town's too small for the bins. Yeah. But that doesn't work with spirit and wine bottles. Although it could if you set it up in a particular way. Our container deposit scheme doesn't accept spirit and wine bottles. We had a whole conversation about this the other night too. So I just, put my alcohol bottles in recycling. What's Tricky saying is that for like dropping the tax on alcohol, let people die earlier from alcohol consumption? Because it is a carcinogen. We even did that research on a stream recently. Worked out to have the cancer risk of a pack of ciggies a day, and that's just a pack of 20. You'd have to drink 3 bottles of whiskey a day. And damn. I think why the alcohol tax? Well, I mean, okay, it's a poison. It's a social ill. I refuse to shy away from the fact that as much as I enjoy the alcohol, it is a social ill. It is a poison. I just think they might have gone far enough, possibly too far, with the alcohol super tax, and they should fucking stop. Let's see. Oh, the ciggy tax. Fuck ciggies, man. Just like fuck them. Tax. I don't care. Get up to 90% of the cost of a pack of cigarettes is tax. I don't fucking care. Fuck that. Ugh. Well, honestly, look, having a couple of drinks is not necessarily going to have a detrimental effect on your health or longevity, but it is important to accept alcohol is a poison, and you are better off if you drink no alcohol. To me, and I think to medical authorities, there is no argument that drinking no alcohol is better than drinking any amount of alcohol. Oh yeah, yeah. No, alcohol it's a drug, it's a poison, whatever you want to do it. I think the tax might have gone far enough or too far. They can't tax tobacco. Oh yeah, no, exactly. No, fuck tobacco. And like I said, because we actually were discussing that the other night, because alcohol is a carcinogen, but what is it compared to ciggies? And yeah, we worked out to equal 20 ciggies a day, you would have to drink at least 3 bottles of whiskey a day, which the other things would kill you before cancer if you were drinking that much a day. If you drink 1 bottle a day, it's going to kill you. And a lot of alcohol dependent people do drink a bottle of spirits a day, which is bad, and they need help and they need support. But I mean, 3 bottles a day, you're going to be dead in about a month. You'd be Nicolas Cage in Leaving Las Vegas. That's a very common thing for people who have ever smoked. Drinking makes them want to smoke. I think the legalization of marijuana is a matter of time. Yeah, well, I've got a reasonable alcohol sorry, I've got a reasonable alcohol tolerance, much higher than Mrs. Angry's, for instance. Like, and she sensibly, if we go out, like 3 cocktails is the most she'll have. She actually tries to limit herself to 2. On a normal like date night, I'll limit myself to 3 cocktails. But I know from going out, I can have 5 cocktails without serious effects the next. Like I'll be drunk on the night, but I can have 5 cocktails without serious effects the next day. But it's also really common. But you have to be a smoker to want to smoke when you drink. Yeah. Good. Oh, my dad was a heavy drinker. Jesus, I think he was drunk every day. But he was the type of alcoholic, because some alcoholics are blackout drunks. Like they will literally drink a bottle of vodka, a bottle of whiskey. I think my dad would have a couple of beers. Like he had his own business. He's in town in Dubbo. I think he would have a couple of beers at lunchtime. He'd go to the pub, get lunch, and have a couple of beers, enough to be a little bit buzzed through the afternoon. And then he'd finish work and go to the pub and probably have minimum 3, 4, if not 5 or 6 beers, and then come home and fucking fall asleep in the Jason recliner. So he was the type of alcoholic who likes to spend a lot of time a little bit drunk, whereas some alcoholics will just get blackout drunk. Like they'll just drink so much alcohol they black out. He wouldn't do that. He would pace out over quite a few hours, drink enough alcohol to be just a little bit drunk for a long time. So Dr. Abigail's son growing up had an alcoholic stepdad. Yeah, and when you're exposed to alcoholics, it can be a surprise to learn that it's possible to have a relatively healthy relationship with alcohol. And yeah, but I mean, particularly not just Australia, but lots of countries. If you go back to boomer generations and before, alcohol abuse was fucking mainstream. It was just a thing. People got fucking shit faced. If people drink a little bit less or a lot less in subsequent generations, that's a good thing. But yeah, it's always kind of funny, like when someone stumbles on a live stream or my cocktail channel and they see that, they go, "You must be an alcoholic having all those bottles." And it's like, well, I'm being a little bit smug and a little bit glib, but it's also extremely true. Alcoholics do not have collections of alcohol. Alcoholics have empty bottles. Like we were joking about it earlier, but an alcoholic would see that and literally go, challenge accepted, and they'd see how quickly they could empty everything there. And a serious alcoholic could clear all that out in a month or maybe even a couple of weeks. Sydney has all sorts of problems with the nightlife, and because those are at Fletcher's in Sydney. But yeah. Oh my God, I saw this ridiculous headline the other day about, younger people, and there's a problem in pubs. And I thought, what are they causing problems in pubs? So no, pubs are complaining that younger generations aren't drinking as much. It's like, fuck off. Well, you've blacked out at parties and nightclubs, working weird places. I mean, I've never blacked out on a live stream that anyone can prove unless they go back and find video evidence of me disappearing for a number of hours but leaving the stream running. I don't blame the alcohol. I blame my lounge being extremely comfortable, because the 2 times that happened, I was just like fucking shit-faced drunk, and I wandered into the that's when I was streaming from the kitchen, and I wandered into the lounge room, the next room, and sat down on the lounge, and I literally just went, "This is comfortable," and just boom, fell asleep for a couple of hours. Yes, Arthur, we read the same article. Yes. Well, see, you can take a whole bunch of things about dance parties, not pass out, but not necessarily remember anything. Oh, yeah, of course you see Zoomers blind drunk. It's absolutely a generalization. But there was a thing that this media article quoting pub owners as like being concerned at the degree to which Zoomers in a blanket statement were not drinking in pubs and treating it like it's a bad thing. Yep, that happened twice. People worrying about it. And I think Dr. Abigail and maybe someone else was texting me trying to wake me up, but I was fucking asleep. I think you might be right that Zoomers don't drink at bars and clubs because it's too fucking expensive. I love that as a claim, Fletch. Did a lot of embarrassing things, but never passed out. Oh no, I'm a huge fan of Zoomers, not least because my offspring are Zoomers. But I was a big fan of Zoomers the first time I saw stuff on the internet about Zoomers telling millennials they were old and millennials getting did I black out at the Gin Palace or just rest my eyes? That was after a live stream at Dr. Abigail's place where I indulged a bit heavily. Then had one drink at the Gin Palace and thought, maybe no more alcohol, maybe a cheese plate and some water. And yeah, I don't think they would have served me another drink. They were very happy when we volunteered water and a cheese plate. But their cheese plates are so very good at the Gin Palace. That's why it's a good thing. I also I know which cocktail bars in Melbourne CBD are serving food until 3 a.m. I can get I can get a burger and a cocktail at 3 a.m. So you got to lift home from band rehearsal from a 19-year-old cassette tapes in the car. Damn, that is retro. Oh gosh, Fletcher, the Taxi Club. God damn. Being chucked down the staircase at the Taxi Club from top. Yeah, that was the thing they did. I don't know that I ever went to the Taxi Club because too many of my friends had been thrown down the fucking stairs. I would go to other places in like Darlinghurst and Oxford Street and whatnot. Don't know that I ever went to the Taxi Club because I wasn't even a drinker at that point. I would go for other things, and some of my friends would go taxi clubs, but then they would tell me stories, and I was like, "Yeah, I don't know that I want to go there, honestly." Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, fuck. It bouncers generally around Darlinghurst were a bit fucking rough. So yeah, that's probably another thing about the taxi club. Very sticky carpet. Oh, damn. Sometimes when you walk through some venues and your shoes are kind of sticking to the floor, it's like, that's troubling. I was thinking my days in Sydney, probably even worse than the thoughts of being thrown down the stairs, was the Cardoma Cafe in King's Cross. Uh, there would be some very good live shows there sometimes. I went there quite a few times, but it was downstairs off the main drag of the cross, and it was a very low ceiling. So the Cardoma was colloquially known as the dark coma or sometimes the carcinoma because that was back in the days of people smoking. And this place had such a low ceiling and fucking no ventilation. The smoke would build up, and over the period of the night, you would see like a solid blanket of smoke getting thicker and thicker from the ceiling. And oh my God, the next day you'd wake up, and I said this is non-smoker, and my hair, my skin, my clothes would just be impregnated with cigarettes. And here's the thing I remember being in my eyelashes, like smoke residue being in my eyelashes. So I wake up and blink, and a horrible shit would fall into my eyes. It's like, oh God, I've got to get in the shower. I have to wash this fucking layer of filth off me. And it was just fucking cigarette smoke. It was awful. I'm not familiar with the U Club. Was that a night at the Cardoma? I don't know. I would just there would occasionally be very good shows at the Cardoma, but I think it was a serious health threat. Ugh. Oh my God, it was the best thing ever when they stopped smoking in pubs and clubs. Just having cigarette smoke impregnated in your clothes, your hair, your skin was the fucking worst. Oh my God, I'm so glad. I even remember after they banned it, there were all these ridiculous stories that you could smell how bad people's BO is, and venues thought they had to put some flavored aromas, and it's just, just ridiculous smoking lobby bullshit. Yeah, when they made smoking in pubs and clubs legal, so good. So fucking good. Because you remember back in the days when even in restaurants, people would smoke in restaurants. Could anything fuck up a meal more than people smoking? Fuck's sake. Jesus. So glad I'm not a boomer for a number of reasons. I had enough fucking smoke until God, when did they ban it? When I was about 30 or something? I don't know. I feel like it's been banned for a long time. Oh, fair. John Ibrahim bought everything in the cross. I've told this story before. Um, I had a friend worked in a bottle shop in King's Cross, and I used to go and hang out with him some Fridays and Saturday nights because he's like working a late shift in this bottle shop. And one night he just pointed, goes, he's like, "Don't stare," but that guy halfway up the street, see the guy in the suit talking to people and shaking hands, and they're just like, he just fucking owns this street. And it was John Ibrahim, King of the Cross. Safi, you looked it up? 1st December 2006. So when I was 40. There you go. Since December 2010, banned from outdoor eating, which is good as well. Oh, the ban was the fucking best. Yeah, no, the people come up with ridiculous shit about how everything was going to smell really bad because then you just realize what people's BO was. No, he doesn't look like a mobster. He looked like a businessman. And how my friend explained it to me, he goes, this guy controls everything. And he goes, that guy's done the calculus. It's just like the real estate around here is worth more than the clubs and the brothels and whatnot. The clubs and the brothels will disappear and it will all be accommodation. Good question. How I did not meet him or talk to him because I didn't want to. When my friend explained to me he was the fucking mob guy who was running everything. Let's look him up. How old is John Ibrahim? John Ibrahim. Author. Yes, that's what he is. He's an author. Oh, he's younger than me. Okay. So, yeah, he was okay. So when he was pointed out to me, he was mid-20s. God, he was only mid-20s, which was the same as me. Or I guess I was getting closer to 30. So because he's a bit younger than me. But no, when he was pointed out to me, he was only mid-20s. How many nightclubs did John Ibrahim own? Minimum of 17 nightclubs in Sydney's King's Cross. Left home at 22, less than 10 years later. He was into it. There you go. So, okay, when he was pointed out to me, he was only in his mid-20s. No, this was mid-90s. And yes, Ibrahim is still alive. Oh, yeah, well, the Cardoma was just downstairs. I'm not familiar with U Club. Yeah, he owns a shit ton of property. Carl Sandler, like he initially was doing nightclubs and shit, but he worked out very early that King's Cross would eventually be extremely expensive real estate. And I believe he started buying up apartment buildings. Allegedly. Probably with someone like him, should throw allegedly in every sentence. Don't want to get into any trouble, and certainly don't want to get on his bad side. I still haven't watched. There's the dramatization, Last King of the Cross. I keep kind of meaning to watch it, and I haven't yet because I heard it was actually a reasonably good show. It's on Amazon Prime in Australia. Safa, no idea if he was started off with parents' money. Yeah. Like, I don't even want to joke about him and where he gets money. Yeah. Oh, I'm willing to joke about Pat. I'm not willing to joke about John Ibrahim. Oh, okay, well, but Paramount Plus is a subset of Amazon Prime, basically. I mean, it does stand on its own. Oh my god, the beefsteak and bourbon. Holy shit. Yeah, and they were just turning, and that's what I got told in the fucking 90s, that John Ibrahim was doing the calculus, and as soon as it was more profitable for this to all be apartments instead of nightclubs and brothels, it would be nightclubs and brothels. And of course, yeah, he doesn't control all of it. It's too much money for one guy to control all of it. I think, okay, Fletcher, I don't think I've been to the Cross for 10 years, so I have no idea what it's like now. So you're saying all the clubs are gone and it's just apartments? Because that was, like I said, that's what was predicted to me in the 90s. That is what was being planned for. All right, breathe in at the wrong time. Breathe in water. Hate that. Ooh, it's not even like the stereotype joke of coughing when you're have too strong a spirits. Just breathe in at the wrong time and it's water. So the whole block is gone. Okay, yeah. Sydney's way more crimey than Melbourne. Like the crime was way more out in the open in Sydney than it ever was in Melbourne. Right. This is what I was going to do before bedtime. Try this liqueur. See, because I haven't made this for a little while. I made a couple of versions. I think I made a whiskey version, a brandy version, and a rum version. And then I made a combo version. And they were all good in different ways, but let me try that. What is this on the stopper? Wait, is that some gunge on the stopper, or is that just a permanent mark? Okay. I can't actually get that to come off. Okay. So black mold. Am I poisoning myself? I mean, probably. Fuck it. Right? Fuck it. Put the stopper back on. Put the alien back there. So you're saying the station up to the next block, other side, emptying to go, yeah. What? Yeah, they just turn it all into apartments. Looks lethal. Well, it's pretty benign. It's a whiskey liqueur. Really dark color because there's this dark brown sugar syrup I make. Spiced with all the cooking spices, cinnamon, star anise, nutmeg, allspice. And I haven't made this for a little while. Oh, yeah, so far I've seen articles about Sydney Metro train all this week and people being really excited to ride these brand new trains. I was like, okay. Fuck yeah. Oh my God, that's fucking awesome. Oh, that is so good. God damn. Oh my God, that fucking works. Oh my God, that's good. Yum. Okay. Like I make that and I go, why has it been so long since I made some of that liqueur? Because it's really fucking good. Oh, sorry. You're saying I was wondering what you're saying, Fletcher. You're saying the state government sold Miller's Point to fund the trains? I mean, yeah, it's kind of like I'm old enough to have been in Sydney when all the Circular Quay forefront was public land and various state governments fucking sold it off for apartment buildings. So all that beautiful harbourfront stuff that used to be public land is now, the playground of the billionaires. Oh my God. Oh, that's really fucking good. Okay. Super glad I made that. That's extremely good. I think I barrel aged some of that once too. And that worked well. Oh! Was it that that really weird, out of place? Was that Harry Seidler Miller's Point apartment building? Because the same thing when they tried to destroy the fucking rocks in the 60s. And they destroyed about half of it till all the green bands kicked in and some of it got preserved. I have no meetings scheduled tomorrow. Like, seriously, midday Wednesday, I was like, holy shit, I have no meetings scheduled for the rest of the week. Then I got a bunch scheduled and whatnot. That's fine. As it stands, I have none scheduled for tomorrow, but so okay, so they sold that apartment building too. Okay, yeah, but yeah, so I'm working on documents. That's a thing I do. But to be fair, that Harry Seidler Miller's Point apartment building was ugly as fuck. But of course, it's right there on the fucking harbour. Incredible views. There's a doco due to come out soon about, the lost city of Melbourne. We had all these fantastic sandstone and Art Deco buildings, and more than half of them got knocked down in the mid 20th century. And it's again, same thing. Like eventually there were community protests and then union bans on knocking down the buildings, which is the only reason we have any of them left. And of course, the irony, if they hadn't destroyed the rocks, it just would have been a huge tourist thing. Even the little bit that got preserved is a big tourism draw. But it was just this ridiculous fucking mentality of, we've got to be modern. Okay, so Fletcher, you've actually seen the doco I was talking about. Okay, I just saw a trailer for it on YouTube. I wasn't sure when it was meant to come out. I did see that. Something about those. But also there's one in Sydney, I think, with that metro that we were talking about is interfering with cancel one. But yeah, something about vibrations or whatever, but they've got to work it out. But unforeseen unforeseen consequences. Oh man, okay. That fucking liqueur kicks ass. Oh, property developers scum. I mean, it was like a running joke where heritage, and it was worse in Sydney. It happens in Melbourne too, but it was so much worse in Sydney, where heritage listed buildings would suffer a mysterious fire, and the developers were like, "Oh no, it got burnt down. I guess we'll just have to build an apartment block there." They're just like fucking criminals. So, oh god. People who I'd like to consign to the fucking bin. Criminal property developers. All right. Oh, man. Oh, man. That fucking liqueur is fucking awesome. All right. It's Nino's time. I'm going to have the cherry. Sydney had beautiful arcades, had beautiful theatres. And it's so funny. Repeatedly, the irony has been shown when these buildings got knocked down because of some fucked up mentality at a particular point. If they hadn't have been knocked down, only a few years later, there would have been a massive economic opportunity from them. But you just get this fucked up attitude all the time about, oh, I've got to be modern. What of this? What of that? And it's just fucking stupid. Yes, yeah, there was the pub in Carlton, yes, and that was illegal, and they actually made it so that was not economically viable for the criminals who did it. Kind of like when the building on St Kilda Pier burnt down, and the council said, "Yeah, you know what? The only thing we're going to legally allow you to do is to completely reduce the building, completely reproduce the building that was burnt down." It's because property developers are just fucking criminals. Just absolute scumbags. It's not like they're alone. There's a lot of scumbags in the world. But property developers, fucking right up there. So, just absolute scumbags. And the politicians who pander to them, fuck's sake. Because here in Melbourne, we had a lot of really beautiful buildings that were paid for by the gold rush, basically. And it was actually the Melbourne Olympics was the big thing. Mid 20th century is like, oh, Melbourne's got to be a modern city. So they were knocking down all these old buildings because Melbourne had to be new. It's just like such a fucked up attitude. I mean, probably party night tomorrow. We actually went right through to 2 a.m. last Friday. I feel like we haven't gone right through to 2 a.m. For a while because I'm an old man who can't keep it up, as it were. But we went like right through to 2 a.m. Or at least I wasn't in bed before 2 a.m. last Friday. So that was a good one. But we'll see. Oh, you're having a night out? Enjoy that. Yes, you had a thunderstorm last Friday. Yeah. I don't think we're having it here. I think Lorraine's gone, Marge. Okay. It's just got to be like, really fun stream content. What's the weather? Okay. What are we saying tomorrow? 19. Oh, bit of rain tomorrow. Saturday. Wow, Saturday and Sunday, 22. But maybe a little bit of rain on Saturday and maybe a decent amount of rain on Sunday. Huh. But 22, god damn. Then cooling down. Well, so we're looking at a little to a medium amount of rain for the next week. Like it might not rain at all, but it might rain a medium amount. Oh yeah, you and your neurodivergent lesbian bars. I mean, I'm fully supportive. 24 in Adelaide. Well, there's God the tipping over the next month. Some heat records might fall just all sorts of areas across Australia. Just a bit of spring, summer heat coming bit thing. Oh, we definitely have a pretend spring. We're kind of having that now. We had our first proper winter in a fucking decade. Like 6 to 8 weeks of consistently cold weather. We haven't had that for a decade. But that's just a normal winter. Just we weren't having normal winters. And we're having fake spring now, and it might get a bit cool again afterwards, and then we'll get proper spring. There's only one neurodivergent lesbian. Okay, yeah, no, that's your one. And I'm all for you having a really good time at your neurodivergent lesbian bar. Yay. But we'll see what happens. We'll see how long I last. I don't make any promises because I'm an old man and I might pack it in even before midnight. Who fucking knows? But if I don't overdo it tonight, there's just that much more of a chance I'll have stamina tomorrow night. Look how much difference. Okay, look, I don't normally do this. I switch these lights on after the stream's over. But look how much difference it makes to the ambiance if I switch off those lights. And that one. It's way less interesting. Now I'm all sepia toned. You're not much older than me, Fletcher, I don't think. We'll just be old buggers together, Fletch. Yes, enjoy your death trap, ladies. I do hope the neurodivergent lesbian bar has proper fire escapes. So I ate the cherry about 5 minutes ago. But bid you fine and funky people farewell. Now I feel really weird. This feels very sepia toned now. But you'll take care. I'm going to go sleepy bubbles, and we'll see what shenanigans we can get up to tomorrow night. But I will say